Okay, people, so here we go. This video series by the Devistry channel for MERN stack authentication is one of the best that I've gone through. I went through a bunch. This is the one that finally made it stick for me. Trouble is, he gets through to the end and he says, oh, there's going to be one more video for the front end for the to-do component. And he hasn't gotten around to it yet. He's a very busy person, I'm sure. I've seen his comments on his Discord channel and get the impression he's not really gonna get around to it, which is fine, whatever. But I see a lot of people asking for it. Um, I took it as an opportunity to go through it and make the front end of the to-do portion myself, and I highly encourage you to do that yourself. You will learn a lot. I learned a lot by doing it. Before we get going, I want to say I alluded to it, but in no way am I trying to piggyback off of him or gain something from him. I got much from him. It was a great series. Watch his videos. They're awesome. I just wanted to share my version because I saw a lot of people also asking for it. Again, encourage you to do it yourself. Everything that he taught in the first 8 parts is enough to get you to do it yourself if you just take the time and break it down and think about what you've built. That all being said, I'm going to hop in and start showing you how I did it, my version. First of all, I'm not going to edit this video, so I apologize in advance for any pauses and while I'm thinking. I did write some notes to myself, so it shouldn't be that bad. On that note, what I first did is I went back through all the videos that he already did and sort of made notes to myself. So on the back end, this is what we have throughout his videos. These are all the endpoints that we've made on the back end, right? And what kind of request it is, whether or not it needs authorization, and what it sends us back, okay? And then I gave myself a sort of a plan. Okay, so this came in very handy. First of all, is it just an exercise in reading code, which is good for you, right? On reading through code that maybe you did it today, maybe you did it a month ago and decided, ooh, how does that work? So it was a good exercise in reading code and figuring out what it returns. And here are just some, again, notes on the front end, like on what some kind of things are happening, right? And then a little game plan for myself. And I actually made this as I went. I didn't write this all out. Don't think I wrote this whole plan here and then started coding. I wrote this first line, create the dummy pages, and I did that. Then I wrote what I wanted to do next, right? It was a on the fly kind of thing. But let's go through the steps that I did and see if I can recreate it for you here. So the first thing we decided to do was, well, what's missing is the front end, right? So I figured we need some new pages for the add to do form and for the show all to do's form. So a couple things you need to do besides just making the pages. We also want them to show up only if you're logged in, because you can't add a to-do or show your to-dos if you're not logged in, right? And so let's just start with that. Let's make some pages, okay? Okay, so pages are under components, pages, right? So we're going to make a new file. It's going to be add to do.js, and that's going to be erect functional component. This is from some snippet library. Look them up. So there's our add to do component. I'm just going to say for now, just to get it working. Right, just to see if that works, right? And we'll do also the show to do's. And that is also going to be React functional component with an export. and I'm going to say H1 for show to do's page. Okay. So what do we say next? So there's the dummy pages, right? So these, we're going to put them in the auth options file so they show up only when we're logged in, right? Remember doing this? In the auth options, he had, let me get rid of this. He had, if you're logged in, if the user's there, we're going to show the logout button. If there is no user, then we're only going to show register and login, right? So this should be in here with these because this assumes we're logged in, right? So I need 2 pages, and the one is going to be add a to do. One is going to be show to do's. And how did he do this? He did these redirects as sort of functions. So it's going to be, I have to call him something, add to do and show to do's, and then we'll make these functions up here. They're just going to work just the same as these did. So on these, and instead of login, this is going to be add to do, and this one is going to be show to do's, right? Okay, so let's see. Do I have this running anywhere yet? I don't think I do. So let's do this. We'll get this guy started up. Should have thought of this beforehand, but let's do this. Get this guy. He's actually over here. Let's get him loaded up. Again, sorry for any delays. I don't plan on really editing this. Alright, what am I missing? Adjacent elements need to be wrapped in a closing tag. Okay, so by adding these extra ones here, it's not just one element anymore. We need to put them in either in a div or in just a, whatever they call this, fragment, right? Hit save, and that should correct that problem. You are logged in, register, log in, okay? So we should still be able to log in. That shouldn't have anything to do with it. Alright, no, I didn't register that one, so let's do this. Yes, I know. Make a new one. Test.com, password Alex, right? Let's do this. Let's get ready. Welcome, Alex. And now that I'm logged in, we can see our buttons are here. These aren't going to work yet because we see it's adding in the bar there, but nothing's happening, and that is because we need to also in the app.js import the pages and add them to the switch statement. So this is back into app.js, right? So just like we have these components here, we need to do something similar. So they're called add to do from add to do, and this one is show to do's, right? And then we also have to add those down here in the switch statement. They need to do here, so we can add to do. Show to do, to do's. Okay, now in theory, Is that working? Let's take a look. There's the show to-dos, add to-dos. Okay, so that's working now. Cool. We knocked our first part of the plan off, right? We're already in here. Got all this first 3 little options done. So let's start working on the add to-do page. Let's see what I wrote to myself here. Need to send the title for the to-do and the token in the header when we're creating a new to-do, right? So this is thinking back to what we have on the back end. So we need to create a form to input the title, and we'll get the token that we need to send along with it from context. Okay, we did that. This is stuff that we did with the users, so I'm not going to try to explain it too much because, like I say, it's in the previous videos. So let's start by making a form, right? We can get rid of this. We can probably get rid of this. So let's get rid of show to-dos for now. We got add to-dos. So we're going to make a form. Don't need an action. Inside the form, we're going to have an input with a type text. As I said back here, it's going to be a controlled form, so we need to do state. So we need to tell React to give us use state. Alright, and then in here we can have, it's going to be, well, yeah, let's finish that thought. Const current to do equals, oops, did that wrong because it's a hook. We're doing current to do and set current to do equals use state, and that is going to be an empty string. Save, gets nice little formatting, right? Okay, something's wrong. What happened there? Current to do is assigned a value, but never exists. Okay, that's fine. We're getting there. Hold your horses, right? All right. The value of this is going to be the current to do, and then we're going to say on change equals, this is going to be a function that takes in a, this is an event, right? Little arrow function, and then we're going to say set current to do to the event dot target dot value. All right. Again, I'm glossing through some of this stuff because this is stuff he did in previous videos, so just more of the same. If you can go back and check the video where he was making the form for the login form, and you should get an explanation of that. Let's see. That work? Okay, so we have the input. We should add a label to it, but we have a controlled form, so that means I should be able to type into it, which I can. And we should be able to see in the dev tools here that the state is whatever is in here, and you can see that changing over here in my state as I change this. Right, okay, so that's working properly. Alright, what was the next thing? So we need to send the title from the to-do and token in the header, create a form. Alright, so we got our form for the title. Oh, I said we want to make a label for that. There should be a label, right? HTML4, so in that case we need to give it an ID, right? What should we call it? To do form. And the label is new to do. There we go. That's a little better. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. So we need to send that title to the back end, but because it's adding a new to-do is a post that requires auth, we need to send it along with a header that has our token, right? In case you've forgotten how that works, here I have my Insomnia set up, so we are, make sure we're logged in with the same user. So here's logging in, and again he did all this. I forget, did he use Postman or Insomnia? I forget. Either way, it works pretty much the same way. You should understand what I'm doing here, hopefully. If not, you need to go back and watch the original videos. Anyway, so here's my token I have now to add a new to-do. You have to send the token along, right, with whatever it is you're doing. I'm herding cattle here, apparently. So send it along on the back end. Remember, we don't have the form for this. Is what we're working on now, so this is all just how to do it without having the forms in properly. So there we go. So we need to send along a title, which is just a string, and in the header the token, right? Okay, so that's what I said over here. We need to send the title, and it's for the to-do, and token goes in the header. So once we've got this, we need to have a function that is going to on the submit, when we submit the form, okay, when we submit the form, it's going to run this function, this submit form function that we are about to write. Okay, so const submit form equals function that does something, right? So what is our form going to do, right? Just thinking, checking my notes for a minute. Where was my little list? Okay, so here was the create the, oh, let me not skip ahead. Let's go in the order I did it here. So we need the title and the to-do. So we create a form for the title and get the token from the context, all right? To use context, we need to tell it, hey, we want to use context. And then I'm just going to copy the syntax for this use context from somewhere else, because it's the same as what we did in other places. Alright, so it shouldn't look too unfamiliar, because again, it's something we did in he did in his previous videos, right? So, and again, just as a reminder then, user context gives us the user data, right? Which is a token and the user ID, okay? So that's where we're getting that from. So that's what this is doing. We're saying, hey, use the context, use this particular context, get the user context, and from it we want the user data and how to set the user data. I don't think we're actually setting any of the user data, but we'll leave that there for now. Shouldn't be a problem. User data has one of the fields on the user data is the token. So we should be able to get a token now. Constant submit form, right? So first thing we're going to do in there is going to say it's going to take an event, and we're going to say event.prevent default, because we don't want the page to necessarily do the default reloading, because this is a single page app. And then, what did we say over here? Send a title, get the form from the user context. Alright, so here's user data. We're going to use that in a minute. Okay, so control forms when you state we did that. Import the context to get the token. We just did import the context. Now, we're in here. We're getting the title. This is creating the submit function, which is what we're trying to do right now. Get the title from the state. Right? We have access to that. That's the title is we're calling the current to do, right? Whatever is currently in the to do box is going to be the title that we're sending. Get the token from headers. That's what we're doing here with the context. Submit it to the back end. So submit, how do you submit to the back end? We're going to use Axios, right? That's how he did it in his videos. We don't have oh, we do have Axios in here imported, right? Don't forget this. You need to import it. I don't remember adding that. Is that a VS Code thing? Did it add that for me? Anyway, Axios, and it's going to be a post with the URL. It's going to be HTTP local host 5000, and with that we send the title, the object, like the data that we want to send, right, which is our object, which is title, and the value of the title is going to be the current to do, right? Okay, and then we also have to send along the header, and for headers, that's an object too, so we say headers, and that headers object is another object, right, which is the XAuth token, which we are getting from user data dot token. All right, does that look like it makes sense? I think that looks like it makes sense, because if you remember, like we said in our insomnia, that's what we were doing. To add a new to-do, we're sending just the title, and in the header we're sending the token, and it should work, right? So what's going to happen when we do that? What's the problem with this? Set user data was assigned a value but never used. So that's what I was saying before, we don't need that, but I'm not going to delete that yet. Well, let's just get rid of the errors that we don't need to keep seeing it. We can always add that back. Okay, compiled successfully. So let's see what happens here. Now if we add to do is mow the grass, hit submit, nothing happened, right? Because, well, we didn't tell it what to do next, but can check to see if mow the grass is in there. I think get all, it should be in there. It's not in there yet. Why is that not in there? Let's see. Probably because this needs to be a sync function, right? So this should be async, and then we have to await, and this also should be all in a try catch, right? Since we're doing async await, try catch, so all of this await stuff should be in the try, and the catch the error, I'm just gonna say console log the error for now. Let's see if that changes our life. Let's try that again. Mow the grass. Then we hit enter. Did anything happen? No, still didn't get it. I'm not getting any kind of error message here either. Let's see. What could I be missing here? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm just going to copy and paste from my other file that did work, just because I don't want to make this last forever here. I'm not sure. I might have just had a... What's different there? Nothing, I don't think. Failed to compile node to do dot. Oh, that's why, because I'm calling it different things. My title here is not to do title. I was using current to do. Does that change anything? No, unrestricted global 17. Oh, so I'm doing this history. When after the post, we want it to go to the show to dos page, but we didn't do this history thing yet. So remember, using history is from rack router DOM, so we need to add that. That's gonna be up here, and we also need to do this here. Sorry if I'm a little bit all over the road, you know, because I'm gonna do this unedited. So that fixed that. Since that fix this though, let's see. Show to do's page. So it got through there. Did it actually add it to our? Still not adding it here though. Why is that? That is disturbing a little bit. We're able to add them here. What am I missing? Bear with me for a minute while I try to figure this out. What's different? We got the title from the state, right? Title from current do. Somebody probably has this figured out, and you're going, duh, dude, it's the... and I'm just not getting it. User data coming from user data, that token. Is my backend giving me any errors? No, not seeing that. Get token for the header, submit, axios.post, history push, catch log. Oh, I know what's going on. I had this problem before when I was doing it too. So it doesn't think it's showing me this, but it's still it needs to. It doesn't think I'm in there, I think, because it like rewrites the token or something. No, that's still not it. This is a bummer because I'm pretty deep in this video. Alright, since I don't want to do any editing, I'm going to stop this video, I'm going to figure it out, and I'll make it in a part 2, or maybe I'll figure out a way to edit it. Hey, it's real life. See you soon.